Welcome to the Caravan Show, where we discuss all things caravans. That's right, everything you need to know about caravans, from weights, towing, maintenance, appliances, renovations, buying a caravan, repairs, destinations and reviews. We'll also chat with some Aussie legends, manufacturers, suppliers and of course people who love caravans. Take it away, Roy.
Good morning, folks. Now, I'm sitting here this morning about to have a chat online with our folks down in Victoria. As you're aware, we send out requests to local areas asking who was interested in coming on the pod show and telling us a little bit about their centres and what they've got to offer. So I have online this morning with me Lorraine Learmonth, who's the Mayor of... Actually, how do I pronounce this correctly, folks? Gannawarra? Sorry?
Gannawarra?
It is Gannawarra, yeah. Sometimes I have problems getting my mouth around some of these names, so thank you for your assistance there. So welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time this morning to have a chat with us. So,
Yes, thank you.
Lorraine, how long have you been Mayor?
This is my second year this term. I did a year previously. And it's a great shire to be a mayor of, a lot of diversity. So I'm very pleased with this.
Well, clearly, if you're on your second term, they must be happy with you there.
Well, I hope so. I'm very grateful to be able to have this conversation with you.
Well, we're really pleased that you came on board. We contacted a lot of shires throughout the country, and we have actually had a fantastic response. You were the first to really come on board straight away, which excited us as well. So we are really trying to find where to send our caravanners, where they can go and what's of interest. I believe you've got someone with you who's somewhat of an expert on your area as well.
Yes, I have the Manager of Economic Development, Roger Griffiths, who's the guru of our tourism and economic development in the area. So I'll hand over to Roger.
Thank you. So, Roger, Gannawarra, where exactly is it?
Yeah, look, Gannawarra is a small rural community or small rural shire. It's about 3 hours from Melbourne, so it's in northwest Victoria, and it's in an area of what a lot of people call Victoria's Kakadu. So lots of rivers, lots of waterways, wetlands, lots of forests, and our real drive up here is nature-based tourism.
Oh, wow. So it's good for people that want to do boating, maybe canoes or stuff like that. Fishing would be a big thing?
Absolutely. Fishing is a major market, and that's a market we've had for a long, long time. But we're looking to expand, I guess, our tourism product and our tourism markets, and looking to attract a lot more people into the area from the cities. So we're starting to branch out into what we call our nature-based or adventure-based tourism.
Yeah, well, that's of course what we need to. Given this it's not post COVID-19 yet, but we're heading towards a post COVID-19 era, and we're going to be seeing a lot more domestic travel. We're going to see more and more people out there. So we need to accommodate. So one of the things that's been coming up with caravanners is the lack of caravan parks and free camping spots. So do you guys cater for that very well there?
Yeah, we do. We have a policy whereby we have RV camps in all of our major towns. So they're free campsites, and we try and pick locations that are close to town, because the idea for us is to bring these RV campers into our towns and to try and add some value to our local retail sector. So we're extremely welcoming in our RV camps, and we're extremely welcoming with our caravan parks and our bush camping. I just have to say our community and our traders just love our free campers, and they're very welcoming to them. So the more the merrier, where everyone can come our way.
I'm sure our listeners are very, very keen to hear that. What about dog-friendly places? That's another question that comes up from a lot of caravanners that have dogs that find that it's limited where they can take, where they can caravan, where they can actually have the dogs with them.
Yeah, look, dog-friendly locations. Most of the RV sites will tolerate animals as long as they're kept on a leash and as long as they're, not running around chasing people and creating a nuisance. But a lot of our bush camps will certainly allow for pets as long as it's in the state forest and not in the national park. So lots of locations to bush camp and bring your pets along.
Great. Do you cater for like 24-hour service stations, that sort of thing? Are they available in your area?
We don't actually have a 24-hour service station, but we do have 24-hour fuel stops. So some of these fuel stops are just card access, 24-hour card access. So there's always the opportunity to pick up fuel and those critical services along the way.
Fantastic. Tommy, another one of the questions we get is caravan repairers. Do you have caravan repairers in your area?
Yes, Cuyuna. I know Cuyuna definitely has people that can repair, and often people do go to them.
Right.
Lorraine would imagine have the same.
Yeah, we've got plenty of mechanical guys. We probably don't have the structural repairers, like if you need a sheet of aluminium replaced in your caravan, if you do what my brother did and back into the house, you probably need a more specialised repairer, but we certainly have lots of tyre services and mechanical workshops and things like that can cater for the general repairs.
And gas outlets.
Oh, these things are very important to them. Gas outlets is a very good example, Lorraine. Thank you for that. They need to be able to fill up their gas bottles. What about public dump points? Now, I know that's probably a tricky one, but do you have that?
Yes, we have dump points in all the...
Yeah, most of our major towns, Kerrang, Kahuna, Kundruk's dump point is on the way. So, and we've also got a dump point at Leachville. So we've got 4 dump points all within probably a 30k radius. So plenty of opportunity to get rid of waste.
Wow, I mean, that's fantastic. That's something we don't find in all the places that we do. So tell us a little bit more about these bush camp type areas that you have.
Well, we have the Gumbow National Park and we have the Gumbow State Forest, and both of those forests, they're basically side by side, just an imaginary line down the middle. But that allows caravanners to come along and camp beside the Murray River or camp beside the Gumbow Creek in a beautiful, tranquil environment with the waterways. There's lots of fishing, bushwalking, bird watching. It's an amazing natural environment and it's free.
Of course, you're on the mighty Murray, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just comment on the bird watching?
Oh, yes,
We do have 160 varieties of birds in that area, so plenty to look at out there. And it's a great spot for photographers, for artists that want to draw out there. It's just a beautiful area.
Thanks, Lorraine. Actually, that was something I was going to lead on to as well about photography. What about drone tolerance? Now, one of the things a lot of caravanners are getting into, because it's the big thing at the moment, is drone photography, and that there's limits. Now, I understand, of course, we've got CASA regulations, so people have to do what they're enforced to do by CASA, but there's still a lot of places that say, no, we don't want drone operators operating drones in our area. What's your views on that one?
Yeah, look, we're a very rural area here, so we're not we're sort of not overly populated with housing. There's lots of lots of wide open spaces and free zones. So, look, reality is, if you're out camping on the Gumbow Creek and you fire your drone up, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to, operate your drone out there and no one would even see you. So as long as you've got all your CASA requirements and you're not within, proximity of airports and you're not up too high, general drone work, I don't see that as being a critical factor at all.
Fantastic. I mean, these are things that are important to people. The same as push biking, of course. This is another very popular thing that's happening with caravanners. They like to get out on their push bikes and, maybe do some trail riding or even these small motorised push bikes that are coming out now, so they can get around and do all these things. Look, okay, this sounds fantastic. I mean, it sounds like a place that I certainly want to come and see you. You have information centres in town?
Yeah, we do. In fact, we're sitting in the Gateway to Gannawarra Visitor Information Centre in Kahuna, which is amazing architecturally designed centre. Gateway to the Gumbar National Park, gateway to the Kerang Lakes. It's an area that's just loaded with attractions and loaded with information. We've got information boards right across the Shire, and we've got great staff here who are very proactive in getting that message out there and encouraging people to visit.
So for our listeners, Roger, what sort of attractions do you have? What are the big ones? What are the ones that most... I mean, your nature sounds fantastic, and these walks and the fishing, obviously they are attractions that I would want to go and see. But what other type of attractions do you have there?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's all about nature-based tourism. So the waterways, the Murray River, the forests, and all those activities that go with it. There are other places of interest. There are nice eateries, nice hotels, and we have places like the Kundruk Wharf, which is a very contemporary structure on the Murray River. It's won several international architectural awards, and we have, some of our hotels here are quite outstanding, serving local products and a range of local wines. We also have a lot of events here, and some major events throughout the area include water ski racing, home of the Victorian ski racing titles. We've also had the Australian Water Ski Championships here. We also have markets, a lot of farmers markets throughout the area, the Murrabit Market, the Kahuna Farmers Market. We also have events like the Australian Tractor Pull Championships at a little place called Quambatuk, which is the hometown of John Williamson, and Molly Meldrum actually lived there for a while. So it's not only nature-based tourism, but there are a wide range of events throughout the year that people can come and visit.
So is that, I mean, you're saying you have all these events, which is fantastic, and I was actually super excited to hear that Molly come from your area. I mean, that's a revelation. I don't think most people knew. But is there a particular time of the year that is best for visitors, or would you say, the type of people like this activity are better to come at this time of the year? People that want to do this sort of activity come at this time of the year, or is it just an all year sort of centre where there's something for everyone at all times of the year?
Yeah, there's always something on, Roy. There's always something to do depending on what you like. So the water sports enthusiasts, we wouldn't recommend that they come in the wintertime because the water's going to be extremely cold. So it does sort of divide itself up into the seasons. We have all of the water sports activity in the warmer months, in the summer months, say from December through to Easter. That's when we have most of the water skiing here, and water-based recreation. Similar for the fishing season, the cod season is a designated season. So when cod season's on, there's a lot of fishermen up here and a lot of camping up here. Easter, the forest is absolutely packed during Easter with campers and fishermen. And we're working hard to try and disperse a lot of the visitation right across the 12 months rather than, having these seasonal bursts. So, we've got things coming like the Murray River Adventure Trail. We've got glamping tents going in at Kundruk and linking up all of our tracks and trails. So people can actually come in the winter time and still experience some of the beauty.
That sounds fantastic. I mean, I'm asking people, what are you doing to attract caravanners into your area? And by geez, it sounds to me like you guys have become masters on that. You really are putting in the big effort, which is fantastic. I mean, this is what we need to do. We need to travel within our own country. People travel hundreds of thousands of kilometres to see things that actually we've got better things on our doorstep. You don't need to travel overseas. You don't need to be even travelling around the country. You can travel within your own state. And at the moment, with the way it's going with this COVID-19 and the restrictions and these borders, people living in the Melbourne region that are used to travelling out, and they'll go all the way to Queensland or to the Northern Territory, all the way into the Western Australia. And I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but right now would be a really fantastic time to come and explore their own backyards. And, 3 hours out of Melbourne, wow, you've got a huge amount of people that should be coming out and seeing you guys before perhaps they go elsewhere.
Absolutely. And this is just a very personal and local example. My brother lives in Melbourne, and he rang me during the week saying, I'm looking to come up camping. He's been up 2 or 3 times camping. He hadn't been here previously, and he was just absolutely amazed at the beauty, absolutely amazed how well he felt after a week camping in the forest. And he's an exec in Melbourne, working ridiculous hours, and he said this would have to be the most relaxing holiday him and his wife have ever had, with their caravan and the fire going at night and a glass of red wine, the fishing rod in. Special place.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm seriously sitting here thinking I just want to get out and come and visit your area. I really do. Sounds absolutely awesome.
Yeah, look, I think, the simple things in life really are the best at times. I've been overseas before, and, the rushing around, but you really can't beat sitting out on the river, in the forest, around the campfire, relaxing and having the dog with you and the kids and whatever. It's a really simple holiday that I think people forget about these days. We need to get back to some of that simplicity.
Yeah, and we're used to the currency, and in most cases we can even understand the language.
Yeah.
So we can talk to each other without too much drama. We don't need interpreters. We don't need to worry about, swapping our currencies around and all that sort of stuff. And we know if we order fish and chips at the local place, we know what we're actually getting to eat. We're drinking water that we're familiar with, so we don't need to worry about those sort of things. I think it's just, I think this has been a really good opportunity for Australians to revisit their thoughts on how they should travel, where they should travel and what they should do. And I'm absolutely super impressed that you guys have embraced it so much.
Totally agree. One thing I was going to say, Roy, is that all of the camping locations along the river and the creek, they're only probably 15 minutes out into the forest. So there's nothing stopping people from actually camping in the forest, but coming into places like Kahuna for dinner at night, or into Kundruk for dinner as well, the hotels and the cafes there. So you really do get the best of both worlds. You can experience the bush camp, but you're only a stone throw away from some great cafes and eateries. Yeah,
which is perfect for them. So if I wanted to come to your area to start one of these sites or whatever, how would I go about? Do I need to book with someone, or?
No, a lot of the free camps you don't need to book, but you can go online. You can go onto our website and look at all of the opportunities for tourism there. And we do have the Gateway Visitor Centre that opens 7 days a week, so you've only got to give the Gateway Visitor Centre a call, and staff there can meet and greet when you arrive and give you some maps and give you some indication where to go. But all of that information is available online if people are comfortable to go online and download the maps and the brochures and whatever. Or we do have the personalised service. And if there are groups of people that want to come, like caravan clubs or whatever, we'll actually sit down and plan that event for them and let them be part of the area.
I hope you're all listening to that, folks. Those of you that operate caravan clubs and so forth, here's an invitation that you can host it in that area. And what sort of cost would be associated with that sort of thing?
With the free camping, it's free.
Yeah, it's all free, and we'll basically organise and line everything up. We don't charge for that. That's just part of our service. If people want to come and visit us, we'll do whatever we need to do to accommodate that. And it's just part of our facilitation.
That's magnificent. Just a slight deviation on that, if I may, when we're talking free. Do you need licences to use boats, power boats or whatever, and fishing licences and those sorts of things in the Murray River? I'm not au fait with that.
Yeah, you do. You need a Victorian licence, or you need a New South Wales licence if you're in the Murray. and you'll also require a boat licence. So, they are requirements.
Well, assuming you've got a boat licence, the fishing licence, of course, is just purchased. Is it easy enough to? Where would you go to get a fishing licence?
There's lots of service stations and camping shops where you can obtain a fishing licence. So they're pretty straightforward, pretty easy to obtain a licence for fishing.
That is awesome. I mean, when you move into a town, it's one of the hard things is knowing where you can go to get things, and things like licences. People need to know that. Yep. I mean, I didn't know that you needed a freshwater licence in Victoria. There are certain places you do and certain places you don't. I know here in Queensland, I think freshwater fishing's okay except for certain stocked dams. But if I was coming to Victoria, I wouldn't know, or didn't know up until this moment, that I actually need a licence to fish the Murray. So they are important things for people. And they'll find this information out from your tourist sections, your information places, I assume.
Yeah, we actually hire fishing rods and hire mountain bikes here at the Gateway Visitor Centre too. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
People don't have to bring their own gear, or we can introduce them to the local fishing and camping stores and they can purchase. Roy, I was just going to say, if people don't have a boat licence, we have a cruise boat here called the Wetlander that'll take over 100 people, and you can book a cruise down the Gumbow Creek at night. It's fully licensed. It has meals, and it's probably one of the most amazing inland cruise vessels you'll see.
Well, there you go, folks. I mean, if you have any doubts of how you're going to be welcome into the Gannawarra area, well, that surely has been dispelled now. These people are really putting it out there for you. They want you to go and visit them. They want you to see all the things they've got to offer, and you've done a fantastic job there, guys, to invite them. So I want to thank you very much for your time today and putting it out there, and hopefully we'll talk to you again in the future.
We'd love to, Roy. Thank you for the opportunity to tell our story, and we are serious about tourism, and we're here to help.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you.
And we hope to see you here.
Hey, trust me, I'm on my way.
The great Gannawarra.
I think what we might do is book you into one of the new glamping tents, Roy, and you can come down and participate in a Sydney Harbour kayaks or local Kahuna Adventures tour, and you'll love the place. You'll want to relocate.
Oh, I very much agree with you there. There's half a chance that's the truth too. I don't know if I'm fit enough for some of these activities at the moment, but I'm working on it.
Good on you, Roy.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.